Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Hope and Heart podcast. I am your host, Jen.
And I'm Kim.
And today we have an interesting topic to discuss. And yeah, it's not an easy topic to talk about. We're talking about how to deal with disappointment. So I was looking on the dictionary, and disappointment means sadness or displeasure caused by the non-fulfillment of one's hope or expectations. I think the number one thing that gets us disappointed
hmm
into a situation or towards other people or disappointment in general is
hmm
because we set high expectations, not even high expectations, or we just set expectations out
Yeah.
of people, out of things that are not meant to happen, or we're not thinking that
hmm
I hope that didn't happen because now I'm disappointed.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And like dealing with disappointment can be so hard. So I would say don't be so hard on the self when disappointment comes. Because like I
Mhm.
can give a prime example. Like it's just something so simple, but I beat myself up for it. So I remember when I
Yeah.
was in college, there was a specific class with a specific teacher. I won't say his name, but
So you,
he was hard on everyone. Like
yeah.
and the thing is, his behavior wasn't really as pleasing. He would tell people
Mm,
certain things that I don't want to repeat. But
mm.
yeah, and then that class, he literally by 1 mark he failed me. So I went to him and I said, "Yo, why did you fail me? Look at this and this and this. I put everything that you want." He's like, "Well," and I'm not gonna say what he said.
Right.
And because college, you have to pay for that. Money comes out of your pocket, it's not
Mhm.
free like public school and stuff like that. So then I remember I beat myself up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I disappointed my mom, this and that, da, 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 da. You when you're just going through so much emotions because you're like, um, when you feel like okay, so my family, we're okay, like
Mhm.
it's better now, but before, like, it's not like that much. But I was like, this money, oh my gosh, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so I went home and I was like, I felt like, usually I'm not really an emotional person, but I felt like crying. I'm like, oh my
You were
gosh,
so
I
down.
messed up. Yeah. And I was like, okay, mom, like, I didn't do this class, I failed this class, I'll do whatever it takes to make the money back for you and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And she's like, Kim, no worries. Like, education is everything, and don't beat yourself. Basically, like, calm down. I will pay for you to go to summer school, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but even though she reassured me, I was still like, oh my gosh, how could I do this? It was just by 1 mark. I should have done better. Da, da, and started like doubting myself and putting myself down.
Wow. It
Yes,
escalated
it
basically.
did. Yeah. And that teacher really, like, he was like, he didn't help the situation.
Mhm.
Anyways, ended up going to summer school, passed the class with flying colors, met new
Yeah.
people. Yeah. I'm like, see, it depends on the teacher and the atmosphere of the room. You know what I'm saying? But either way, like, you beat yourself up, but then, sometimes out of that disappointment and that negativity, positive things come out of it later on. So that's
Yeah.
my my example of
2 cents.
this. Exactly, of disappointment,
Yeah.
right?
And yeah,
Exactly.
and that's the thing about disappointment. It's different things. It's
Yes.
not just disappointment on a situation.
Right.
And based on your example, it's
Yeah.
disappointment because you're disappointed in yourself,
Self. Exactly.
right? And then you don't want to disappoint other people.
Others. Exactly.
So in my case, how I dealt
Yes.
with disappointment, like for example, if a person hurt me,
Yeah.
right? Um, it, it's a hard
It
process.
is. Mm-hmm.
It's a hard process. It's not like just a snap and then you'll be
You're
okay.
fine. Exactly.
Because sometimes with disappointment comes forgiveness, because a lot of that has to include hurt. You
Yeah.
know, if someone disappointed you, you
Mm-hmm.
end up getting hurt.
Yep.
And thing with me is how I deal with it is I have to have a quiet time with the Lord and actually press in and
Yeah.
have that talk and communication, because sometimes when you're disappointed at someone, you don't want other people to know it,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes you just want to keep it to yourself,
Right.
because I don't know. It's just that you want to protect the person,
Mm-hmm.
or at the same time, you just want God to kind of like help the situation,
Right.
right? Because I believe that if we trust God, trust in the Lord with all your heart, Lena, and in your own understanding, right? In all your ways, acknowledge Him. Um, if we trust God, hopefully it will give you a
Yeah.
teachable heart to forgive. And I know you always say to write down the stuff that happens, like the negative things that you feel when
Yes.
you're in your feelings. And how you can deal with disappointment is, if you don't want to talk to the person,
Yep.
write it down. Because then that way you could release whatever emotions you
Right.
have bottled in.
Yes.
And sometimes people they keep grudges, right?
Yep.
With
It's so true.
disappointment. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when a person disappoints you, it's like the way you look at the person is kind of different now.
Right.
It's like there are times where everything that he or she does, it's all kind
Hmm.
of negative now.
Yeah. Hmm.
So in my personal experience, I prayed that, Lord,
Yeah.
you know what? Help me change my perspective
Hmm.
about that person.
Right.
Because as much as we want to say, it's done, okay, fine, it's all good, sometimes there's this inkling in your heart that's like,
Yeah.
"Ah, but ouch, you hurt me." Like, but ouch, this happened in the past, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's how I deal with disappointment.
Yeah, and to add on to what you just said,
Mhm.
sometimes disappointments are an eye opener as well, because you made a point, a really good point. Like, and then once that happens, it's like your eyes are open more to see, like, is that person really supposed to be kind of in your life?
Mhm.
Because I remember too, I can give a prime example, like, as life goes on, you meet new
Mhm.
people come into your life, right?
Mhm.
And like, yeah, I knew this person, not gonna say who, and it's just like everything was all gravy, and then all good, sorry. Everything
Okay.
was all
Yeah.
good, sorry.
Yeah.
And then it's just like one disappointment, I'm like, let me let it slide, because I'm
Mhm.
like, sweep it under the rug. Then the
Yeah.
next one, and I'm like, whoa, no, I don't think this person's supposed to be in my life. It's time for them to go. So disappointments also open your eyes to realize that that person is not supposed to be where you want them to be. It's like
Mhm.
it opens your eyes to just let them go. And I like that you
Yeah.
brought up writing, because I also said, like, for me, writing is so therapeutic. Like, it
Yeah.
helps me so much. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. It's like I just have to write, and it's just like, it doesn't
Mhm.
even necessarily have to be about the problem. Just being like, you know what, this and that.
Yeah.
It's so good for me. It helps me to release, as you said,
Yeah.
every single piece of information that's on my mind. And yeah,
Yeah.
hmm it
And I
really
believe
helps.
that you have a lot of notebooks and some of them you don't even know where it is.
Girl, you're right. Yes, that is my problem. I have so much notebooks, and my parents and everybody, my sister, my brother, they always complain.
Yeah.
Every dollar store I go to, I just pick up. Like, it's like my strange addiction. I'm
Yeah.
dead.
And then adding to what you
Yes.
said,
Yeah.
you were right. As you know, as we elevate, is that a
Yes.
word?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
It is.
Or as we move on, or as we move on in life, different
Yes.
stages, different ages, right?
Yes.
We have different intensity of like disappointments
Yes.
or like things
Exactly.
that hurt us.
Right.
Sometimes we could be disappointed at a person, and then you can
Yes.
just let it go, forgive the person, because you
Hmm.
unfailingly love the person. Whatever he or she does, you're like, I'm gonna
Right.
forgive you. You're my guy, you're my
Yeah.
girl. Like, like, even if you hurt me,
Exactly.
you know what? uh Mad love.
Yeah. Exactly.
Something like that, right?
And it's okay to
um
love from a distance too, girl.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's
it's
so
true.
true. Yeah.
And then yeah, and then with that, I think, yeah, it comes patience.
Yeah.
With that, you truly know what's in your heart, because sometimes you get to express the love, or you know what, sometimes you have to
Yeah.
tell on the person, you have to kind of correct them
Mm-hmm.
and rebuke them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like if we deal
Mm-hmm.
with the problem and not the person,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully hopefully it's easier to talk it
Right.
out or talk it through with
Exactly.
things. And it's not just the person, right? Well, maybe based on my personal experience, it's
Right.
always a person that
It's all
disappoints
good.
me. But it could also be a situation.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get disappointed at um whatever that we are
Right.
expecting or assuming off of other people or of a
Exactly.
situation. But sometimes God would always, not always, but like he would say, yes, no, maybe, you
Yeah.
gotta wait. You gotta wait on
It's
me.
true.
It's not always a bed of roses,
Right.
you know,
Whatever you ask for,
because
you get. No, it doesn't work like
yeah,
that.
no. I mean, we can pray about it.
Right.
We
For
can pray
sure.
about it. We can have faith about it. But hopefully, God willing,
Yeah.
we teach ourselves that we have to wait,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, with the situations, it's sometimes it's out of our hands. Well, a
Yeah.
lot of times it's out of our hands and
Mm-hmm.
just life happens and we have to just be strong, hopefully, as long as we are rooted in the word, as long
Mm-hmm.
as we have a good relationship with God or with other people that would support you,
Mm-hmm.
that you and I feel like dealing with disappointment, you have to have at least someone to vent to.
Yeah, for sure. Someone that you can truly trust that's not going to go and tell other people about what you're telling
Mm-hmm.
them. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's very important too. You're right. Having somebody that's actually there that will listen to you, give you positive advice, because
Mm-hmm.
there's
Yeah.
some advice that can be like, it can be like opposite from what you actually were like. Wait, exactly. It's a moment. Exactly. So I truly agree with you. And also, what I want to add to that is like, through your disappointments, like, surround yourself with positivity. Like,
Yeah.
don't keep beating yourself up about it. And you're right. Like, we have to wait. It's like, yes, we can have faith and pray about it, but everything comes at the right timing. So
Mm-hmm.
surround yourself in positivity. Like, don't be listening to some depressing songs that get you up in
Yeah.
your feelings. No, y'all, we ain't kids anymore.
Sometimes
Like,
we guilty.
yes, I know, but like, you want things that to lift up your spirit and like make you think positive, not make you feel like, oh man, I knew this was gonna happen. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Surround yourself with positivity and try to make make your spirit like feel happy again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of what thing that I had to do. Like, disappointments going through, it's just like not trying to dwell on it and think about it and make your mind like, oh my gosh, not this again. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Positivity, clear your mind, do the things that make you happy, because that would also help you get through the disappointment as well. And just as
Mm-hmm.
you said, wait, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, waiting is hard thing to do, right?
Yeah.
We get very impatient, and so just wait, guys. Wait, be patient.
Yeah. I was talking to my dad a while
Yes.
ago and I'm like, Dad, how do you deal with disappointment?
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? If you're not expecting other
Mm-hmm.
people to do this or this and that, you won't be disappointment. Sometimes there are no
Yes.
mistakes. This is what he have been teaching me from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. There are no mistakes, only lessons to be learned.
Yeah.
And I really love that. And to add to that, and
Same.
to
That's
yeah,
like
and to
poetry. Yes.
yes, and to add to that is I believe that we have to face the music all the time and turn our trials into triumphs.
Yeah.
Like for example, me, my parents, we're not perfect. We always get disappointed at each other
Mm-hmm.
or we
That's
have
true.
fights, like silly fights. And then at the end of the day, they're your family.
Exactly.
Usually you get mad for a second or
Yeah.
for a minute. But at the same time, if the pride is not there and if you say sorry, like this was when I was
Yep.
younger. Now we just like love each other and
Yeah.
like try not to
Right.
like have any issues, right?
Right. Exactly.
Um yeah, before like I would keep saying sorry, right? And then I remember this was when I was younger and I know that I've disappointed my parents or my mom to be exact. And I just keep saying, Mom, and she won't reply. And I go,
Mm-hmm.
Mom, I'm so sorry. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I'm sorry. Because this is after like facing her and I still feel guilty.
Yeah.
And then after that, next day will be okay. Like our relationship grew
Yeah.
and grew. And I think that with that, um if like, for example, it's not just the other way around. Like, for example, we're talking about you disappointing other people, right? Not just
Oh,
other people
yes.
disappointing us. Like, for example,
Right.
if I disappointed someone, sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes you be just like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Why did I do that? You have to put yourself in other person's shoe, in the
Yeah,
other person's shoe, or vice versa,
for
right?
sure.
And then I also want to add trials to triumphs. So in my personal
Hmm.
experience, like, for if I have disagreements with my husband, I
Right.
know that we can talk about it. Before,
Hmm.
we used to have very bad communication in terms of
Hmm.
like actually telling each other, like, blankly, or frankly telling,
Yeah.
I'm not happy, I'm not doing this, da, 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 da,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
Right? But because of that, our relationship got stronger.
Yes.
Because of the trials, because of the disappointments, the disagreements, we learned how to talk it out.
Yep.
Like, for example, you and me, we had disagreements. We gave each other space, we talked it out,
Hmm.
right? So that's my personal experience.
Yeah, girl.
That's
I totally
Yeah.
hear you.
Of course, with prayer
Yes,
and petition to the Lord, because
for sure.
sometimes it's easier said than done,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
It's easier said than done, especially with yeah, with a lot of people hurting us.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we just, you're right, shut them off a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, girl.
Sometimes, because, yeah, go ahead. I think I triggered something again.
No, 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 no. But that is so true. Like, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. Like, we do tend to shut people down if they do disappoint us, or if we get that feeling like, no, honey. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I totally agree with you. Like, and I commend you on like talking about like how much like you guys grew through the disappointments and stuff like that, being able to talk it out, and that's what people need to do, right? Um, like it's so much better if we just like speak to the person. It's so
Mhm.
much better if we just have that forgiving heart. And I was gonna say, because I know you brought up forgiveness earlier, like forgiveness is so hard,
So
y'all.
hard.
It is the most hardest thing in the world,
Yeah.
depending on how the extent is, or and sorry, before I go into that, but like you also
Mhm.
said, like if you disappointed somebody else, like what can you do as a person to fix that and mend that. You can, as you said, be the mature one and just be
Mhm.
like, I know I hurt you, I'm sorry, please forgive
Yep.
me. Sometimes you have to just take that step of maturity. Back in the days, I would not do it. I'm sorry. I would not. I'll just be sitting there and be like, I ain't talking to you. You better call me first, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
to be honest,
I'm being
yeah,
so
especially
honest. Yeah.
that tested me when I got
Yeah.
married, right? Like,
Yes.
you had to actually like swallow your pride. You
Yes.
can't always be the person to like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can always wait for that. Like, you have
Exactly.
to, yeah, you have to, like, you know what? Be the change. You have to,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't just wait for that. You have to actually, I have to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
am so like, ugh.
Yeah. You have to pull up your big girl pants, your big boy pants, and you have to do the do.
I
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. And like, sorry, now going back to the forgiveness, like forgiveness
Mhm.
is so hard. Let me tell you, I've been through a situation where forgiveness, I thought I forgave the person, but when I saw their face, that anger in your
Yeah.
heart, you're like, ooh, ooh.
Because you haven't forgotten.
Exactly.
That's what
So
it is.
yes, exactly. I haven't forgotten, and the memories start repeating in my head. And I'm just like, I know I didn't forgive this person.
No.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
can't be you can't be in that.
No, exactly. But then I'm like, okay, I prayed about it. I'm like, no, honestly, I don't want this to be on my heart every time I see this person. Like, it's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why am I making this person?
Control you.
Yes, because
Because
it's so
if you're,
yeah,
yeah, if you're the one not forgiving,
yeah,
it's gonna eat you.
it is. Trust
It's
me.
not the other person. It's
No,
you that's gonna be
exactly.
hurting
For
more and more,
sure.
and you're hurting
Right.
yourself.
Exactly. And I remember watching a Tyler Perry movie and it said,
Yes.
yeah, he said, like, if somebody, what did he say again? Oh my gosh, don't quote me if I'm wrong. If somebody can change your atmosphere, that means they can control you. Yeah,
Ooh.
that was very deep. So that was obviously, this was back in the day. So then I'm like, I prayed about it. I'm like, God, please let me forgive this person. I don't want this person in my heart where it seems kind of like angry and stuff like that. And after, trust me, it still took some time, but I'm able now to say the person's name, laugh about old times, jokes, everything, and I'm good. So I'm
Mhm.
like, you have to really
Yeah.
try. That's it.
Yeah.
Just try.
Try.
Yeah. Even no matter how much the situation hurt you, just
Yeah.
try. The disappointment hurt you, just try. That's all. Just try.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean now,
No, girl.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it takes time. It
It
takes
does.
love. It takes
Yes.
love. It takes
Yes.
time to heal.
Yeah. It definitely does. Like I even remember that same situation.
That's okay. Go
Girl,
ahead.
let me tell y'all something. So that same situation, I remember I was in high school, grade 12, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened, I'm not gonna say it, but I was in grade because in university in grade 12 you have to either pick college or university classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I took the university because I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
So, all the people in that class were very smart and blah blah. Me, I'm gonna be honest, like, yeah, I didn't really like that, whatever. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna be exposing myself, but anyways, I
No,
didn't really like
no.
attending that classroom, right? Okay, so anyways, and I wasn't doing so good, so we had to write a paper. It was a memoir, so it was about your life and going back to the future and the past, kind of thing. So then
Wow.
after, yeah, because I wasn't doing so well in that class, but anyways, so I started writing something, and it was kind of like, he's just like, this is not it. So then I started thinking about the situation that happened that I was telling you guys about earlier, and I
Mm.
wrote it, and after handed it in, whatever, I got like a 90 plus on that paper, and it was because of
Hey.
the certain situation. I kept that paper, and I'm like, you see, this is what, this is what made me
Yeah.
like get where I am, you know what I'm saying? Like, it made me pass that class because I wasn't really doing well. So what I'm trying to say is, like, you can definitely turn a negative into a positive, and then try to forget about it as life goes on.
I
I
like
don't
that.
know.
I
Yeah.
like that. And I want to share.
Yeah.
Um, so there's this article, and it says here, when we are aligned towards the will of God, we learn to appreciate God's plan.
Yeah.
We look back at past disappointments and see how our pitiful my plans are compared to God wanted to do in me and around me. Because sometimes, right, when we are disappointed, we just act whatever we thought of.
Yes.
Yeah, like especially with anger. Oh man, sometimes sometimes it's hard to do slow to speak, quick to listen.
Yes. I
Especially
agree.
when you're angry, you would just be like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
with with me though, if I'm angry, I used to do like a silent treatment, but now I just like kind of breathe it in, and we gotta talk about it. You know what I mean? You just heard someone there, huh? No, he needs water. Okay,
It's
but
okay.
yeah, anyways, going back to also what you said, his timing is always
Yes.
perfect. With the forgiveness, it's it's the right timing. It's the
Mm-hmm.
right timing.
Yes.
God sees your heart.
Right.
God sees your heart. He will approach you or speak to you when you are ready. Or
Yes.
sometimes even if you are not ready, you'll feel it in your heart that,
Yeah.
like, one day,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully as soon as you wake up in the morning, but like what you said a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
you are not going to be controlled, or your
Yes.
atmosphere won't be controlled by that person,
Person.
or that message that you got from other people.
Right.
Like sometimes there's this thing called block, remove
Yes.
follower, mute
Mm-hmm.
follower, restrict follower,
Exactly. Exactly. For real.
right?
Exactly.
Because sometimes also with the situations like this, God teaches us who deserves to stay
Yeah.
and who deserves to, be on the sidelines or something like
Peace.
that. Peace out. But
Exactly.
yeah. You want
Yeah.
to add something to that
Yeah.
before we end?
Yes. And just to add to that, like, just about the forgiveness part, when you're able to wish somebody well in their life,
Wholeheartedly?
yes, wholeheartedly, that's when you know you forgave somebody. Wishing them all the best in their lives and all of the blessings that God can give them, that's when you know you forgave that person.
Yes. So how to deal
Yes.
with disappointment 101, the number one thing, as easy as it
Yeah.
sounds, is forgiveness.
Yes.
You know what? We got to. We
Yep.
got to do that. I myself, I have to learn. I have to learn to easily forgive, or
Hmm.
let's just say slow to speak,
Yes.
quick to listen.
Don't make your mouth be too quick, girl.
That's my takeaway. And also, can you repeat that quote that you just said?
With the Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Okay, so basically he said, if someone can control if someone can control your atmosphere, that means they can control you. I
Mhm.
think that's what I said. Yes. Don't quote me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. So I really love that. I
Yeah.
hope that you got value out of this episode. And if you want to watch other videos or other podcasts, we will link it in the info cards and down in the description. This has been Hope and Heart podcast. Yes, I love that. We're gonna
I
have
know,
a
it's so cute.
merch soon. We're gonna have Hope and Heart shirts. That's a vision right
That
there.
would be cute.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. Stay blessed.
Bye, guys.